Yo, yo, yo. What is good, everybody? What is good? Welcome. Welcome. This is the Big Snafu. I'm Jay Big. If your uncle had a podcast, it'd be a lot like this. I got something really specific in mind today. It's kind of a big topic. It's kind of like, it's a lot to swallow. Pause. Um, you know, for any adult out there, I think many adults have been to therapy of some sort. Probably a lot of kids nowadays. I mean, when I was a kid, therapy was not an option. But then you get married and things happen and people want to go to marriage counseling and individual counseling and, life happens. And you wind up in therapy sometimes. And I will say up front, before we get into all this, there is definitely some modern therapy that is beneficial to everyone. There's a lot of things that we do understand about behavior patterns, whether we're incredibly correct on the terminology of which and the complete diagnosis of which, who knows? But I think we're good at recognizing patterns. I think the literature is good about talking about those patterns. I appreciate it. I don't have any hate for all of it. But, just to give an example, this whole narcissism thing is, it's a strong trait that we could talk about, but it's way overused. We'll probably get into one of those posts, if I'm not mistaken. One of these posts here has to do with that. I think I've talked about it before, too. Like, look, does narcissism exist? Yes. Do as many people have it as is claimed? No, definitely not. Again, there are tendencies, there are traits, but, calling someone a narcissist is ridiculous. What fuels my interest in this is, I guess it's kind of social media, but it's also like my life. When you learn certain things, you reflect back on your life and you can see certain people, certain instances, certain situations where things weren't right. You really didn't know why. And then you put it together later on in your life. You're like, oh, it's this archetype, right? When these people call narcissists, you're kind of calling them selfish. I think that's a new age term for selfish. Are there a lot of selfish people out there? Yeah. In fact, any good therapist would probably tell you to be a little selfish. You're supposed to be a little selfish with your time. You're supposed to be a little selfish with, what you like. You have to protect what you like. So you're a little selfish about it. And then it goes too far. And here's the nuance that no one can seem to hear. So everyone's a narcissist because there's no nuance. It's pretty much where we're at. And the psychological literature isn't exactly perfect. The DSM has changed a few times. It continues to change. I think that the culture has changed so much that I think the culture is narcissistic. So I think when everyone's calling each other narcissists, I think it's a lot to do with the culture. I really do. The current focus on me and my self-victimization is crazy. It's crazy. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. So not only do I support some of this stuff, there's a giant bifurcation as well. So there's one side of this, and I don't know how official this is. I would have to look it up. I know there's a book about it write your love languages, which is silly. You know what a man's love language is? It's all those things. It's any of those things. It's anything that he can get. Meanwhile, the women like pick and choose which ones they say they want the love languages. But then on top of then legitimately there are definite connection styles, some of which are healthy and some of which are unhealthy, and those are very useful in life and relationships and paint a nice general picture of like good things to look for. And when I look for good therapy, I look for tools. I think coping tools and tools are where it's at. You should be definitely providing that. If you're not going to provide that, then like why are you in the game? I think a lot of modern therapy is allowing people to talk ad nauseum about their feelings. And I think that some people, mostly women, feel better when they talk about their feelings. They just need someone to talk to. They talk their feelings out and then they get them out and they feel much better. And that's fine. But I think a lot of therapists take advantage of that, and they don't give coping tools and they don't help with anything, and they just want you to come back week after week after week. The most famous example of this that I can think of is Howard Stern. I listened to Howard Stern on the school bus in freshman year of high school. Our bus driver, Jay, shout out Jay. I forget this guy's last name. He was cool. Jay would play 94 Rock, 93.3 FLZ. I forget which one played Howard. One of them played Howard over the air. It's 1980. No, it's 1991. And we're listening to Howard. Well, regardless, I listened to Howard from then until, many, many years after I moved to Florida even. I've stopped listening. I can't listen anymore. But until about 10 years ago I was listening. He was pretty entertaining. And he would always tell you about his therapy. He would always tell you about his therapist. He would always tell you about how he's going every week and he's not sure why he goes. Right? Which is funny because he's a smart guy. So the fact that he couldn't get it together and think about this critically is crazy, right? But that therapist is taking advantage of him too. He's not giving him any coping tools. He's not helping him to heal and change and get better. That's all I can think of. So now let's fast forward. In my Instagram, and again, I'm not a young lad, so I'm not big into the TikToks. We here at Instagram, we get stuff late. When I used to make fun of people that they would send me things on Facebook that they saw that they, should have seen on Instagram as an example. Now it's gone even further. Lucky me. So, Instagram. Dr. Max Butterfield. Dear Dr. Max. Right? I'm trying not to be too harsh on this guy, but literally every other video I see from this guy, I have major contentions with. He is a doctor. This is not fake. I am not a doctor. I'm well aware of this. Before we even begin, I realize that he has educational credentials that I don't have. Fantastic. That's kind of part of my problem. Dr. Max Butterfield. Here, why don't we just jump into this? What I want to do is I want to jump into this particular reel that I have here that I saw today. I'm like, man, I was going to do this with Don, but I'm going to do this by myself instead. I have so many things to say. Some of them are not nice, and some of them are just truth. So we'll try and stick to the truth instead of me being not nice. We'll try and be nice. Okay, here's his latest. Let's bring it up. I'm pretty prepared this time. See, I'm getting better. Look, I told you. I warned you I was going to get better at this. Okay. Here's Dr. Max. Dr. Max is going to talk about body count. Body count. Does body count matter? And of course, we know who's worried about this, and it's not the men in your life. All right. Let's unmute. We've been good at that lately. Good, good. Click, click. Excellent. Let's see if this comes through. I didn't test it. I'll admit, still a rookie. I didn't test, so let's go. Let's see if it works.
Matters, but the reason isn't what you think. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 science-backed facts you should know. Number 1, women with high body counts do show more instability and lower satisfaction in their relationships later. It is a very small and weak relationship, but it does exist. The reason why will surprise you, and it's not why you
And what I'm going to do is we're going to watch this twice. So we're going to watch this all the way through, and then I'll watch it again, and I'll pause and comment. So, all right, go.
think. What is it? Well, number 2, it turns out women with high body counts are treated differently than men with high body counts. There is a stigma. Men get away with it, and women are treated like garbage. So what does that mean? Number 3, it has nothing to do with who her past partners have been or how many there have been, and it has everything to do with how that bothers you and then how you treat her as a result. This is going to make everybody so mad, and I'm okay with it. Why? Because I'm not an influencer. Follow me for daily science-backed reels and click on the link in my bio for free guides and more. Say goodbye to the influencers. Say hello to science.
Okay. It's just funny because here I am trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to be an influencer, by the way. I'm trying to help young men. I'm trying to give young men real, applicable information on how they can help themselves. And this is not helpful. Okay? Ready? He makes, I'm Dr. Max Butterfield, and I'm going to make 3 claims based on something that I just researched for 5 minutes. See, that was mean. Okay, ready? Body count matters, but here he is with the but. Well, let's go into it again.
Matters, but the reason isn't what you think.
It's not what you, it can't be what you think, because I'm Dr. Max Butterfield.
Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 science-backed facts
Okay, 3 science-backed facts. Let's go. By the way, I'm all about the science.
you should know. Number 1, women with high body counts do show more instability and lower satisfaction.
Show more instability and lower satisfaction in their relationships later.
It is a very small.
Now he has to quantify how small and weak it is. You just literally said out loud that it has a correlation with instability later. You just said it, and now you're trying to walk it back with your very small and weak. Well, let me tell you about small and weak also. These are all self-reported. The thing about all of these studies is it's people self-reporting their feelings. And I can tell you, what I know for sure about women is that their feelings vacillate minute by minute. And depending on which minute, every husband knows this, depending on which minute you catch her, 1 minute, she could be very happy because you did the world for her in whatever her world is expressed in, whether that's vacation, taking the trash out, taking care of the kids, making dinner. And the very next evening, she could get mad at you for something and tell you that you never do anything good for her because that's how she's feeling at that minute. She is ignorant of the fact of whatever you did in the past. It doesn't really matter at that minute because she's loyal to her feelings and her feelings are saying that. So anyway, what you're depending on for a lot of this psychological stuff is somebody's feeling. How do you feel? And you're jotting down what they say they feel. You know, this is like when you go to the hospital and they ask you what your pain level is. Everyone says 10 because they want all the drugs. It's what they want. They want the drugs. They're like, oh, it's a 10. Give me the morphine. Like, of course they're going to ask for the morphine. And this is people who, so now they're all lying in the study, by the way. They're all lying. And there's still a small relationship between many, many partners and dissatisfaction later. What a surprise. Boy, who could have guessed that? All right, let's keep going.
small and weak relationship, but it does exist. The reason why will surprise
Here we go. Now he's going to give the reason why, and it's going to surprise all of us. It's got to be based in fact, right? This has to be a science-based reason why it's totally going to surprise
you,
you.
and it's not why you think. What is it? Well, number two, it turns out women with high body counts are treated differently than
Women with high body counts are treated differently than men with high body counts. You know why? Because women with high body counts act promiscuously. We're so in tune with this. Like, I don't know why this is not controversial, okay? Just the same way as women are very in tune with a man's confidence level is a great example. Definitely very in tune with a man's confidence level. They want a confident man. We are very in tune with a woman's promiscuity level. First of all, because it means that it's going to be easy for us to get into her pants as quickly as we possibly can, which again is the ultimate goal of every man who's dating any girl. That's exactly what he wants, whether he will admit it out loud or not. That's exactly what he wants. Okay? And number two, that means that I get to decide whether or not I want to take you seriously. So the minute that you act promiscuously, most men are going to treat you differently and not take you seriously. So you are likely to have dissatisfaction in your relationships because the men who you think are taking you seriously are not, because of how you presented yourself right up front. I mean, this is not a surprise to me. This should not be a surprise to anyone. Least of all Max Butterfield. Okay, so here we go. We're continuing with Max Butterfield. I got that. Come on.
Men with high body counts. There is a stigma. Men get away with it, and women are treated like garbage.
Okay, so why do men get away with it, everybody? It's like, Max wants to teach us all like we're all 5 years old. Max, I'm going to teach you like you're 5 years old right now, okay? And I don't have a doctorate degree. I don't. And I don't need one. Men and women are different. I don't know why this is so controversial, especially to you as a doctor. You should really understand that men and women are really different. Men are celebrated for sleeping with a lot of women because it is very difficult for men to sleep with women. I know you know this. I see you. Guess what? Even good-looking men have a really hard time getting laid. Finding a man, I'm going to pick an arbitrary number, and it's a high number. Finding a man with a 100 body count is extremely rare. Extremely rare. And I'm talking about a man who's 35, 45. Very, very rare. They exist, of course. But most men have a body count around 2 or 3. Their whole life. I forget what the actual statistic is. Let's pretend it's 5, and it's not. I really think it's lower than 5. Men have a very difficult time getting laid. This shouldn't be an argument. At any point in the process, you can screw up getting laid with your wife. Never mind some stranger. You could be having a great night. Great night. You went out for a date, and the next thing you know, you said something wrong at the restaurant, and you're not getting laid that night either. And you know this girl. Fuck out of here. It's so true, though. It's dead true. I'm dead serious. Women, if they go outside and trip over the curb, can land on 3 dicks easily. Easily. All they got to do is their feelings have to tell them that they're into it, and next thing you know, they're into it. The guy's going to say yes. The odds of a man saying no to you, if we did this whole thing where, and this is all conjecture, mind you, but if we did this whole thing where we all pretend like we're all going to go to the club, and I'm going to go to the club, and she's going to go to the club, and we're both going to walk up to people and go, hey, you want to fuck? Hey, you want to fuck? She will find 80% participation rate, and I will find 8% participation rate. If I'm lucky. That's if I do it like funny and cool and like I have a thing about me and I'm 6'4", right? Like then maybe I could get 10%, 12%. I don't know. She's getting 80%. She's not respected for this because it is easy for her to do. You are not respected for doing that which is easy. You are respected for doing difficult things. And a man with a high body count, it was difficult for him to do that. We can talk about the morality. We can talk about sexually transmitted diseases, which is what people like to bring up. They like to bring up a lot of things. Forget all that. Just to be able to sleep with that many women, he had to have a very high skill level of some sort. Because again, even if you're 6'4" Chad, you can still screw the whole interaction up by saying something dumb, by, you could trip over the curb and she's done with you because now you're a clumsy idiot. I don't know. They're loyal to their feelings. I don't know what these things are for them. I just know that there's a million ways that you can screw it up. And for her, there's about 0 ways. Mid-date, she could go to the bathroom and come out with a Hitler mustache and throw you with a Zig Heil, and you still might sleep with her. Most of you guys probably still would. You're so thirsty you wouldn't even care. She could be the weirdest person you ever met, and you will still sleep with that girl. 100%. There's very few things she could do to screw that up. Very few. We are not the same. We are not the same. It doesn't go both ways. All of these comparisons that these people do, this influencer, Max isn't an influencer, right? Because he's a doctor, he's not an influencer. Like, I don't even know where to start with this guy. Okay, hold on. There's a little bit left of the video.
So what does that mean? Number 3, it has nothing to do with who her past partners have been or how many there have been. And it has...
So it has nothing to do with who her past partners have been. You are not judged. Here we go with this bullshit. You're not judged by your actions at all. All the actions that you took, don't worry about them. We're not judging you based on them at all. You had a pattern of what you looked for and what you went for, and now I'm not supposed to judge you for it? Now I'm supposed to completely ignore it like you're a totally different person? You're a totally different person than that, I'm sure. Come on. Always leave room for the fact that that could be true, but the odds that that's true is very, very low. If you're walking through life thinking that everyone's going to change all the time, you're going to have a terrible time. Most people don't change, ever, for any reason.
It's everything to do with how that bothers you and then how you treat her as a result.
Yeah, dude, it bothers you because you don't want the whole town knowing what your lady looks like naked. You don't want some guy like winking at you in the corner because he slayed your girl 3 years ago and so did 5 other guys on the other side of the bar. Because, why does that make a man insecure? The fact that he doesn't want everyone to see or have seen his woman's body. Why is that an insecurity thing? That's so funny. Like, isn't that like one of the few things that you can give to me? Is like some exclusivity? Like, your body could exclusively be for your husband. Yes, I think that's really reasonable. I think that's super reasonable. And you should kind of want that. You should want that really healthy attention from your husband who loves you dearly. He loves you so much he signed a piece of paper. And he's going to hang out with you every day for the rest of his life. Whether you complain or not, he's still going to hang out. It's not bad. Guys, look, I know relationships are hard. And I know that when you're young, you make a lot of mistakes. And I know that this doesn't have to matter. Your body count doesn't have to matter. But like after a certain point, even let's pretend there's a virgin stripper. This is a good, here, I got a good one. So you're a virgin. You're hot, okay? You're hot. You're a young girl, 19, 20, 21. You're in your peak prime years. You're a virgin and you're a stripper. All of your experience, your built-up experience over weeks, months, and years is going to be that Men are super thirsty. Men are super perverted. Men are constantly not just sexualizing you, they are over sexualizing you. I mean, not for the environment. You're presenting that to them, but the point is they're very over sexualizing you. I mean, you can imagine what these guys are doing in the strip club, right? You can imagine the things that this lady's seeing. So what's going to happen to her? She's going to become disillusioned as to what like men really are. I would love to look up what percentage of men in the United States go to a strip club. I think it's very, very low. I don't personally have any friends who go to the strip club on the regular. I do know one guy. He's not my good friend, but I did meet him about a year or two ago. He's there all the time. He has sex with strippers. He does like the whole thing. Like he's like dating strippers all the time. Like that's his thing. I don't know, but that's a very, 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 very low percentage of the population as far as I can tell. Those guys are there because they're horny. They're not there for any other reason. So like you're also seeing this pervert at his most perverted time. You're like getting the toast that's in way it's like burnt toast, you know? It's like, so you're around burnt toast all the time. You're never going to want real toast. You're going to think it's all burnt. My point is it sours you. It sours your attitude on men. You will treat men differently from then on. When you meet a man who's not burnt toast and he's regular toast, you're going to treat him like burnt toast. And again, it's no fault of your own, but that's what's going to happen. And this is what happens with high body count women. So some of them, I could definitely see them like throwing the man away, right? Like, she just wanted to get laid, so she got laid and she left. That's fine, I guess. It's the ones where she like wanted him to stick around and he wasn't going to stick around because he was never going to treat her seriously because she presented as promiscuous up front, right? It's like this whole thing. Look, I do make this podcast for men, definitely. But there's a lot of times that I try and when I speak to this lens, I try and speak to my daughters because that angle is just as important and it helps to keep the whole thing centered. Okay? And I would definitely tell my daughters that they will advantage themselves by waiting as long as they can to be seriously involved with men. They would do themselves a great justice. They definitely would. They'll make better decisions. And they'll be thankful later on in life that they did that. It's like tattoos is another good example. You know, people get tattoos very early, and then later on in life, they're not so happy with them. Now, there's people who commit. There's like dudes who like really commit and they do their whole body and they don't really have that issue. But again, small percentage. Most people who get tattoos get shitty tattoos. And later on in life, they're like, why did I get this tattoo? People are always asking them about it. They make up some stupid story. It doesn't really look good. Now, there's a lot of people who think their shitty tattoos look good too, but nobody later on in life says, I wish I had more tattoos. I think being conservative with being modest with your body as a woman is highly beneficial. Highly beneficial. I don't think everyone who doesn't do that needs to be like ostracized from society, but maybe we could go back to having a little bit of bullying where we kind of help people to center themselves around healthy behaviors by discouraging them from other behaviors instead of, back to Max, all he's doing is justifying all these young girls. You know, you watch these shows, you watch this Fresh and Fit, you watch this whatever podcast, you watch these panel shows. These girls are 21 with 21 bodies. What? Even the promiscuous girls that I knew in high school or college, granted, it is impossible to know how many bodies they had. But the rumors would go around. You know, it was a very small world back then. And you would kind of know if some 21-year-old girl had 21 bodies. That's crazy number. That's crazy number. Think about that. You're only a legal adult for 3 of those years. There's only 12 months in a year. And you've got 21 bodies at 21 years old. And then everyone goes, what? Here's the worst part. Everyone goes, oh, you go, girl. You go, girl. Sexual liberation. You do it. You do whatever you want, girl. You're hot. You're hot. Don't worry about it. You're hot. It's very sad. It doesn't make her a bad person. Again, I'm like looking at the lens and I'm picturing my daughters say, it doesn't mean she's bad. It doesn't mean that she's bad because she did that. She might be a great person. I have no idea. The odds are there. That exists. But like, your morals are questionable at best. At best. I don't want to keep this about body count. I want to keep this about Dr. Max Butterfield, but I feel very strongly on this topic. I'm very surprised. The reason that this got me so bad this morning was because it's so off base. He's Max, bro, you're so off base. You're so off base. And you're like defending people's shitty choices. And when people make shitty choices, you should let them know that they're making shitty choices. The people in your life who you really care about are kind of depending on you to tell them about their shitty choices. They don't need you to placate them and pretend like everything's great. They need people. This is why they hire you, Dr. Max Butterfield, is to tell them the hard things about what really matters. And to pretend that men and women are the same, and to pretend that body count on both is the same, and to pretend that, every girl is going to be fine if she has a high body count. And by the way, you don't even specify what a high body count is. I don't even think that you know what a high body count is. Oh, Max. All right, let's move. Let's keep moving forward with Max. Okay, we're gonna keep this show. God bless you, Max. And I'm gonna do a compliment sandwich. Okay. Do you know what this is? In corporate America, they used to do this compliment sandwich. They would say something nice, and then they give you like the stinger, and then they would say something nice again so that they could, right? Look, I know that you mean well. I know you're not out there trying to fuck with people and like, I know that. That's fine. Your hairline is crazy. And I think that some of the videos that you make help people. I do. I honestly think that. So I don't want to shit on everything. In fact, I might even click on 1 or 2 of these videos and we're going to agree. That's entirely possible. Let's see. So let's go to this next one. This one is specifically about narcissism. Let's hope that this works. Ready? Click. Got to unmute.
You're wondering if your boyfriend is a narcissist? Something my therapist taught me a long time ago is that if you guys are fighting and he says something kind of mean to you or yells at you or upsets you in some way and you start crying and he doesn't try to comfort you.
Wrong. That's reductionistic. Turns out not all men are the same. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. If you're tired of the hot takes from influencers, you want daily science-backed reels about love, dating, attraction, relationships, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff, follow me. I'll give it to you straight. It'll always be based on the science. I probably won't brandish a knife, however. Who knows? We'll see.
You're wondering if your boyfriend is a narcissist? Something my therapist taught me a long time ago is that if you guys are fighting and he says something kind of mean to you or yells at you or upsets you in some way and you start crying and he doesn't try to comfort you.
Wrong. That's reductionistic.
This video's useless. He doesn't give you any information at all. Whatever. I'm just going to skip it. Let's go next.
Minimum. Calling you pretty, bare minimum. Taking you on dates, bare minimum. Getting you flowers, bare minimum. Meeting your friends and family, bare minimum. Not.
Can we talk about the TikTok hands too? Like how the girl bots all do the same thing. Like let's I want to take notice of this. I see this all the time. They all do the same shit. Okay.
A lot of anger there. Those are healthy relationship behaviors she's criticizing, though. Let's talk actual bare minimums. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 main bare minimums you should look for in a relationship.
Okay. This guy should be able to nail this. You ready? Bare minimums in a relationship. I love it. Let's go, Max.
Number 1, do you like him? Number 2, it's an easy one. Number 2, does he like you back? Again, simple. Number 3, is he kind to you? If you have those 3 things.
Do you like him? Does he like you back? Is he kind to you? All right. I'm not going to disagree. Those are fine. They're fine, I guess. It's not very helpful, Max. Once again, are you here to help? Or are you just here for your 1 million followers?
Things in place. You are 90% of the way there.
And then you're 90% of the way there with those things. Okay. Keep going.
Give us 5 signs he's not interested in you.
Takes a long time to respond. Only wants to hang out once a week. Only hits you up when...
Wrong.
Actually, that last one was really good. If he only hits you up when it's convenient for him, I mean, it's a good hint. There's way better hints, but it's a pretty good hint. All right, let's see what Carl Jung has to say.
I'll stop you right there. Those could also be signs he's just busy or he works hard.
True. That's what I was thinking about the first 2, and that's exactly what women want, is a guy who's busy and works hard. Or, that's part of it, for sure.
I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I studied this kind of thing for a living. I can give you 3 alternatives, 3 easy ways to know if a guy is interested in you. Number 1, ask him and see what he says. That's a tricky one, but doable. Number 2.
I really like that one. For the record, this is what people don't do enough. Just ask.
Initiate. Tell him how you feel. See how he responds. Number 3, wait. Now, that's a harder one, but relationships take time to develop. Sometimes you do have to wait.
Any relationship Max has been in has definitely taken time to develop.
See how things go. If you're sick of the noise from influencers,
If you're sick of the noise from influencers like me... Okay. Ready? Here's another one.
Does my husband think the things he does for me are bare minimum or above and beyond? Leaving me a post-it note every single day.
Bare minimum.
Cooking dinner every night.
Bare minimum.
Doing the dishes after you cook dinner every night.
no. Those are expectations that do
Whoa. Is he going to address this? All right, we're watching it all the way through. I haven't really seen this one. And then I'm going to loop it back around.
not work for every relationship, but science can help set you straight about the true bare minimums that will put you on the right path. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 science-backed facts you should know. Number 1, the key question to ask yourself is, do you like each other? If you don't, you are in for a bad time. Number 2, are you kind to each other? If you aren't, you are in for a bad time. This is not complicated. Again, this is relationship kindergarten. These are things that you already know, and it's just a matter of doing them. And then finally, number 3, are you attracted to each other? Attraction matters, and sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's because your values match. Usually it's a mix of things. These are very basic. Speaking of basic, the influencers are basic. You can do better. Follow me for daily science-backed reels or click on the link in my bio for free guides and more.
Does my husband think the things he does for me...
Okay. First of all, I have to say something about this couple. You ready? We're going to go one by one. I cannot believe what she says.
are bare minimum?
Oh, wait. My husband think. Hold on. Let's... Before I mess this up, let's see what she says again. Ready?
Does my husband think the things he does for me are bare minimum or above and
The things he does for her. You ready?
beyond? Leaving me a post-it note every single day.
Okay. Leaving her all a post-it note every single day. If you've got the greatest woman on the planet, that's fine. Most men who are leaving post-it notes for the lady every day, she's not doing shit for them.
Bare minimum.
Cooking dinner every night.
He cooks dinner every night, and it's bare minimum somehow.
Bare minimum.
Doing the dishes after he cooks dinner.
The dishes after you cook dinner every night.
No.
So, like, what does she do? What does she do? I'll give you a bare minimum. Ready? It's a great bare minimum. Bare minimum. I have kids. Bare minimum is that I'm gonna cook dinner for them, or I'm gonna buy dinner, or let's pretend it's cooking for that night. I'm gonna cook dinner. Bare minimum, for sure. Totally agree. I'm responsible for them, legally, financially, etc. I'm responsible, so I'm gonna take care of my responsibility. They're gonna clean up. That's their bare minimum. I did the whole dinner. I went to the store, I purchased it, I brought it home, I put it in the fridge, and then I took it out the fridge, then I prepped everything, and then I cooked everything, and then you come in, you're all fresh, you just took a shower, you come in, you get to sit down, you get to enjoy the meal. And now bare minimum is I'm also going to do the dishes? Get the fuck out of here. That guy is in trouble. She's not interested in him at all, by the way. To his points here, do they like you? You should ask them. You should ask her if she likes you, bro, and watch her like, sometimes, kinda, I like what you do for me, Holy hell.
Those are expectations that do not work for every relationship, but science can help set you straight.
So he doesn't correct any of it. Again, he's not giving any information to help anybody. Now he's going to give 3 science-based facts that
About the true bare minimums that will put you on the right path. I'm Max Butterfield.
Go ahead.
Doctor.
We did it.
Max
Let's do it
Butterfield
again, though.
studied this kind
I
of thing
forget.
called living. 3 science-backed facts you should know. Number 1, the key question to ask yourself is, do you like each other?
Do you like each other? I mean, bro, I don't even know why. Again, this is not advice. This isn't advice because you don't ask that. You either know or you don't know. If you don't know if they like you, you just break up with them. You'll find out if they like you. Break up with them immediately. I mean it. If you're not sure, that's a huge red flag. Anybody that you're in a relationship with who really likes you, it should be really clear. It's not something that you should like guess. Oh, I'm not sure. I think that they probably. And it's not based on what they do for you either. I mean, it's a little bit based on what they do for you. It's based on how they act around you, how they treat you, the words that they use with you. And it's very obvious. You don't have to ask. If they're an asshole to you all the time, they don't like you. And if they say they do, they're lying because their actions are showing something completely different than their words.
If you don't, you are in for a bad time. Number 2, are you kind to each other?
Are you kind to each other?
If you aren't, you are in for a bad time. This is not complicated. Again,
I agree with that. This is not complicated. And kindness is definitely part of it. Trying to be supportive. Kindness is definitely part of it. Being kind is... Your partner should be kind to you under duress. Your partner should be kind to you in anger. Your partner should be kind... Yes. So the kindness thing, yes. But should your partner be like kind to you all the time? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't know about this like all the time stuff. Sometimes people like really need to hear the business. And if you're not going to give them the business, then I think being kind to them is... But when I hear being kind, it just makes me think happy wife, happy life, which is not the way to live. Not the way to have your marriage. It's not a thing.
This is relationship kindergarten. These are
And this is the other thing he does. He keeps referring to it as like kindergarten. He's giving no facts whatsoever. And he's like, oh, you don't even know. Like, this is like kindergarten.
things that you already know, and it's just a matter of doing them. And then finally, number 3, are you attracted to each other? Attraction matters, and sometimes it's physical.
It better be physical. What do you mean sometimes it's physical? I hate to burst everyone's bubble, but what men want is for you to be physically attracted to them. And that's kind of about it. It's kind of the end of the list, bro. Be physically attracted to them and initiate sex sometimes, and you will keep your man around. This is so not hard.
Sometimes it's because your values match. Usually it's a mix of things.
Oh, thanks, Max. Oh, it's a mix of things? Boy, I really thought I was just going to find that one thing.
These are very
Oh, you like World War II history too? All right, let's get married.
basic. Speaking of basic, the influencers are basic.
It's funny how he's projecting. It's the most basic information I ever heard. That's his most basic reel yet. Come on, what else? Let's go again. Oy vey.
Hot take: when you get married, your parents aren't your family anymore. There, I said it.
First of all, what does that mean? Second of all, what's with his face? Oh, I said it. Oh.
You know who your family is?
No. 3 science-backed reasons this is more likely to be harmful than helpful. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living, and I can tell you what they are. Number 1, cutoffs are more often a red flag than a milestone. Number 2, boundaries are there to define relationships, not destroy them. And then finally, number 3, strong bonds with family predict happiness. If you're sick of the hot takes, follow me for science-backed.
It's a pretty normal one. I don't think that's really difficult to understand.
What a lot of women don't realize is your biggest downfall will come from trusting a man.
No, unlike eating sushi in your car, trust is foundational to human relationships. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I studied this kind of thing for a living. Not really sure why I went there. 3 science-backed facts you should know about warning signs in your relationships. Number 1, does your partner make you feel bad on a regular basis? Are they mean to you? Do you feel worse when you're together than when you're apart? If so, that's a really bad sign. Number 2, is your partner emotionally unstable? Do they have fits of rage, jealousy? Do they appear to be trying to manipulate you with their emotions? If so, that's a really bad sign. And then number 3, is your partner invested in your relationship less than you are? Are they using you? If so, that's a really bad sign. These are not complicated, but sometimes it can be difficult to extricate yourself, to get out of a relationship where this is happening. Just like you need to do with the influencers. Get out of your relationship with them. They are not helping you.
We're going to watch it one more time. I had a few things. Well, let's watch it one more time.
And in fact, they may be harming you. Follow me for daily science-backed reels or click on the link in my bio for free guides and more. Just the science, no harm.
What a lot of women don't realize is your biggest downfall will come from trusting a man.
No, unlike eating sushi.
Boy, I mean, how damaged is that? That's the girl I'm talking about. You see, she's definitely not 21. I'm not going to... She's definitely in her 30s, let's be honest. She might be in her 40s. And she's like, your biggest downfall is going to be from trusting a man. All those next men after that, for that woman, I feel bad for every one of them because she's pretty and she's going to attract a lot of men, and they're going to have a really hard time because of that one dude who, you know, he messed her up, and she's now got it's a computer virus. She's, you know, her laptop has a computer virus. Oh, it's so sad too. All right, so here he goes. Let's do this again.
Sushi in your car, trust is foundational to human relationships. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I studied this kind of thing for...
I love it how it says studied. Like, I think it's wrong. I think he says study, but it's
living, not really
ironic.
Sure why I went there. 3 science-backed facts you should know about warning signs in your relationships.
Okay, warning signs in your relationship. This is a good topic.
Number 1, Does your partner make you feel bad on a regular basis? Are they mean to you? Do you feel
First of all, nobody makes you feel bad. You allow people to like get under your skin. Now, are you perturbed all the time around your partner? Yeah, that's a huge red flag and a problem. That's kind of what he's saying. I'm gonna translate for Max. I'm not a doctor, but I'm gonna give you actual real world tools to use based on Max's limited information.
feel worse when you're together than when you're apart?
Do you feel worse together than when you're apart? I mean, basic shit. You should definitely feel better together. You should be really happy when you're together. You should be kind of happy when you're together. If you're living together, if you've been together for 10 years, you should be pretty happy. Everything shouldn't be tense and problematic.
If so, that's a really bad sign. Number 2, is your partner emotionally unstable? Do they have fits of rage, jealousy?
Okay, I want to add to that because I think the most important part of all of this isn't just fits of rage and jealousy. In fact, I can kind of think how some men might think a fit of jealousy is kind of hot because they like that somebody cares about them that much. The real question is, how quickly does your partner come to baseline? Whatever that baseline is for them. Can they, here you go, ready? I'll give a personal example. Something that hits close to home. The older I get, and I kind of always been like this, but the older I get, the less I can deal with traffic. It just makes me nuts. So when somebody does something really dumb in traffic, like when I really get cut, first of all, I get mad when I kind of get cut off, and then I'm like, fine. But when I really get cut off hard and somebody's like, and it happens in Florida a lot, man, you're just traveling down the road and somebody just decides they're just going to make their right turn right in front of you and there's nothing you can do and you got to jam on your brakes and the whole thing. I definitely get mad. Okay, I get mad in a way that's probably unreasonable and irrational and I should probably do something about it, but I've been that way my whole life. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. What I can do is literally within 60 seconds, I'm fine. I don't continue. I'm not in the shower later like, I can't believe that guy fucking cut me off. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. I don't do any of that shit. I get mad instantly. I say something instantly. And then within about 60 seconds, I'm like kind of back to normal. I'm like, whatever. Right? Like feel the feeling, let it run through you and let it drop off. So when I see emotionally unstable, which is really important, I see people who have an inability to come back to baseline with any quickness whatsoever, all the time, right? Maybe you got a certain topic or whatever that pissed you off or you're having a bad day and it might take you all day to kind of get out of your funk or something, right? Like I can see situations where it's like kind of all right. But I think that the people that this happens to, it happens to more frequently than not. And I think that's a huge red flag in a relationship and it's time to get out. Now, this last part, do they appear to be trying to manipulate you?
Do they appear to be trying to manipulate you with their emotions?
Like this is definitely a bad sign. He's making a good point. Now, coping mechanism is, I mean, you got to see it. You have to be observant of that. You have to try to look for it. People are, men and women both, are looking to manipulate people all the time. They don't really want to be their authentic selves. They're trying to hide who they are. So they're definitely trying to manipulate other people. There's a lot of signs to look out for there. What you're really sniffing out is authenticity, I think. I think that's what I look for anyway. So I would look for authenticity. And then...
So that's a really bad sign. And then number 3, is your partner invested in your relationship less than you are? Are they...
Okay, less than you are. Whatever, bro. No. It's not an investment level. Investment levels like vary. You definitely want, if you're a woman, you definitely want to like and look up to him more than he likes and looks up to you. I think that's what a successful relationship is. You obviously both like each other, but like invested less. I mean, I guess I see what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. complete and utter underinvestment is a way that a lot of women and men actually both get tricked in relationships. I would think that, that sounds like something that happens pretty equally, because there's the situation with like the really good looking Chad guy who's not going to get with you anyway. And he's clearly not taking you seriously because, as we talked about earlier, you're so promiscuous and you walk around promiscuous, but then you meet this really hot guy and you think he's going to take you seriously, and he's definitely not. He's way underinvested. He's definitely not. He calls you when it's convenient. And then as a guy, boy, these thirsty guys out there, they get the one girl and they have one itis, and shout out Rollo Tomasi, one itis TM. They have this one itis where she's the most important thing, and you're completely ignoring her actions. You're completely ignoring everything about her. She's totally underinvested in you. And all you can do is like send her money and tell her how great she is and send her a good morning text. And oh my God, it's like we were talking about the Post-it notes, or putting Post-it notes every morning and making her dinner every night and doing the dishes. And you're like way over investing. And that's unattractive to her even, right? She wants to look up to you, and she can't do that if you're always like, what can I get for you? And serving her like a servant. Like, that's not attractive from a man to a woman. So there, I've given you actual actionable things to think about and do.
Using you. If so, that's a
because you don't want to get used. It feels terrible, and you don't want that, and you can avoid that. If you get used, it's your fault. There are always signs, and you should have looked out for them, and you should definitely take some responsibility for that.
Bad sign. These are not complicated, but sometimes it can be difficult to extricate yourself, to get out of a relationship where this is happening. Just like you need to do with the influencers. Get out of your relationship with them. They are not helping you, and in fact, they may be harming you. Follow me for daily science-backed reels, or click on the link in my bio for free guides and more. Just the science.
Okay, Dr. Max Butterfield has, I'm looking right now. Are you ready for this? 1.5 million followers on Instagram. Wow. And this post, which you can kind of see in the image here, it has 5.2K likes. Doesn't that seem low? In 3 days? Seems really low to me. I feel like in 3 days, if you have 1.5 million followers, your reel should get a lot more views. Does he have his view counts turned off? Sorry, guys, I'm just sneaking here. No, he doesn't, and you can see part of it through the leak here. He has very high view counts. So here, this one that you can't see. Oh, yes, you can. No, I'm to the left of that. 304,000 likes is crazy. He has it pinned though, and 1,800 comments. It's very strong. 7.2 million views. But his latest stuff, again, with 1.5 million followers, he has anywhere between. Here's a 1.4 mil. 268 and 614K is very high. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Kind of jelly. Little jelly. Here, let's see what this one is that he has pinned. Let's just watch this real fast.
I can always tell when two people are soulmates versus when they're just like not really meant to be together. It's one thing that I look for, and it has been consistent in every single happy, healthy, long-term relationship I've ever seen, or like people who are happily married. They all have this, and it's that they literally look physically
No, wrong, false. There are 3 factors backed by science that we know are linked to relationship satisfaction. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. I can tell you what they are. Number 1, physical and emotional intimacy. If you're close with your partner, you will probably have a happy relationship. Number 2, communication skills. If you both communicate well, you will probably have a happy relationship. Number 3, equity. That is, if you both have buy-in, if you're both trying at the same level. Happy relationship. Follow me for more insights like these based.
All right. We'll close with this. We'll close with this. This is one of Myron's points that I really like. And I think it's so true. So just like we are fooling people with the equality thing where we're saying that men and women are the same, which is just crazy talk. It doesn't go both ways. We are not the same. We like to talk about equity in relationships. And the fact of the matter is that people don't like each other equally. And no one broke up with each other concurrently at the same time. Like, things don't happen simultaneously like that. You can watch the instant replays of the guy trying to run it out to first, and the guy catching the ball, and the toe barely misses the plate, and there's no tie. Only in a really strange circumstance in baseball will you find an actual tie. What they say is, by the way, nerd alert, tie goes to the runner. Tie goes to the runner. But rarely will you see that. You're not going to see a tie. It's not even a thing. Somebody has to like the other person more. Who's harder to please, men or women? Seems obvious to me. I mean, women are very hard to please. We talked earlier about how, you have a million ways to screw up getting laid the night of the date. And that's with a first date or your wife. They're very picky. They're very hard to please. So if they're very hard to please, they really need to feel like they get the best deal. In fact, that's part of their biology, is feeling like they have the best deal. They've got the best man they can get. And that used to be the best man in their neighborhood. Now it's the best man on Instagram, which is where a lot of the problems come in. Women are just solipsistic. Women are unable to see anything from a man's perspective, and women are absolutely always looking for the best possible man at every single moment, which is why you kind of need to perform your best. Every relationship's going to have some problems, but she's always looking for the best, and she wants to look up to you. So the minute that you're not on your game, nowadays, you're forcing her into Instagram. Not literally, but, according to her biology. Right?
Again, on actual science.
I can always tell when two people are soulmates versus when they're just like...
I mean, the soulmate thing is stupid, but I always see people where she's grabbing for him. She's looking up at him. She's leaning in his direction. And he's not ignoring her. That's not the point. But she's like grabbing for him. Like, those seem to be the longest lasting and the happiest relationships, right? Where she likes him more than he likes her. But he loves her more than she loves him. Like, it's like, those two terms are strange and esoteric, but like, she literally has to like you more than you like her. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to like her. God, it's like I picture everyone's arguments every time I say something. It's poison. It doesn't mean that you don't like her. It just means that she likes you more. Because you're cool. You're a cool dude. You got a lot of things going on. You're a smart guy. She's proud to be with you. And when that happens, She respects you. She has a great level of respect for you. And then you feel loved because you're respected. And let's face it, guys, to all you normal men out there, you're going to love her anyway. You're going to love her anyway. You're going to want to love her too much. You're going to want to give her the Disney love thing with very little in return. Because that's kind of how we are. That's what they don't really understand about us. That's part of their solipsism. They can't actually see that we are like, at our core, like we just kind of want to love you and dote on you and be nice. But then nowadays, if we do that too much, we're like boring. And you don't want anything to do with us after a while. And we're wondering what's going on and why you're not attracted to us. It's just a delicate game. And to try and pretend like male and female dynamics are as simple as Dr. Max Butterfield would put is dangerous. It's dangerous because it gives you really bad expectations for how your relationship is going to be, how you think she wants you to treat her, you know. Ultimately, as a man, your job is to be on your mission, stay on your mission. Have skills, get more skills. And then share things with her and show her new things. And when you take her places, have new experiences. And spend a limited amount of time hanging out on the couch and being lazy with her. It's very comfortable, yes, but it's not. It's something a friend of mine calls gray time. And gray time is very dangerous. You know, spending incidental time around each other, it doesn't help your relationship. You should spend very purposeful time around each other. If you're around each other in the house, you're talking. You're interacting. You're talking about the news. You're talking about, you know, it doesn't have to be anything serious. You're talking about the kids. You're talking about the future. You're talking about a vacation. You're talking about something fun. You know, whatever you're doing, you're engaging with them instead of like this whole, like, we're going to watch TV next to each other. I think that's very detrimental to relationships. And if it's not detrimental, it certainly doesn't help. This is always how I know it's time to go because I'm about to get a visitor. Your job is to keep her mildly excited, you know, and it's hard 10, 15, 20 years later, but that's your job as a guy. Dr. Max won't tell you that. Dr. Max won't tell you that. Dr. Max will tell you that you should marry some girl with a super high body count because it doesn't matter. And I couldn't disagree more. Sorry. Any girl who's mad at that has a high body count. So again, I'm not a doctor. I have a college degree, if that helps. If that helps anyone to want to believe in anything I say. But ultimately, what I did was I did everything wrong for a really long time. And then I listened to a bunch of people that I didn't believe tell me what was right. And then out of desperation, I did what they said. And I found out how right they were. So my confidence doesn't come from a degree. My confidence comes from living it and doing it. You know, like some people need to, and my biblical knowledge is slipping. Wasn't it Judas who didn't believe and had to put his hand in the side of Jesus before he would actually believe? Doubting Thomas, I guess, right? Doubting Thomas had to put his hand in the side of Jesus to see that he was actually had risen, right? I think that we're mostly like that. We need to like prove it to ourselves to really learn the lesson. I know I am. I'm stubborn like that. Well, I learned the lesson. And Dr. Max, just judging based on everything that I know about male and female dynamics. Dr. Max does not strike me as someone who was very popular with the ladies ever. And I would be surprised if Dr. Max has more than 5 bodies. You know, and for a guy, by the way, I've heard quotes that say that men should have 50 bodies before they get married. And I think that the point there is that you should just have a really good base of relationships with women before you decide to get with one woman. I think that's good advice for men. I think that trauma builds men and trauma breaks down women. I think that, again, we're very different, the two of us. And a lot of traumatic relationships can actually help a man to learn what he doesn't want. And then traumatic relationships for a woman really can harm her perception over time and hurt her ability to bond. I mean, I think too much of that can really hurt a man too. But the point is, you don't want the trauma so much as the experience. And the experience with men for women is bad because men just want sex. And the experience with women for men, it can really teach you about female nature, because we have to know about female nature. We don't get to not know and then get women. You've got to know women to get women. Women do not need to know men to get men. They can just exist. You young men don't get to do that. That's not part of the deal. So, thanks for tuning in with me on my special on modern psychology, Dr. Max Butterfield, and his sometimes okay advice. Feel free to follow him. Listen, he's got 1.5 million followers. Give him some more. I don't care. I don't wish him ill will. I just wish he would give people a little bit more in terms of coping mechanisms, coping tools. When I said that I went to therapy, that's the one thing I thought was missing from almost every therapist I ever have come in contact with. They don't give you any coping tools. They don't really help you to understand. They just sit there and listen to you. And while that can be good for some people, that might be fine. I don't think that that's really anyone's way of truly learning and getting better. Just having someone listen to you. I don't think that's a thing. Validating everyone's victimhood is not a thing. You've heard me say responsibility a few times during this podcast. You got to take some personal responsibility for your shit, or else, you're not really going to become a better person. You're not. You're just going to keep making excuses and being the victim. It's not the way to go. So thanks for hanging with me on Saturday night. It's fun. I'm enjoying this. Like I've said before, I think someday I'm going to hate all this original initial content, but I'm trying to get used to speaking to the camera, trying to get used to getting things up on screen, trying to get used to getting my levels right. I'm trying to get used to keeping the laptop plugged in, unlike the last stream. We're making progress. We really are. And next time, I think I'm going to try and invite Don on. Maybe we'll do a show together, and we'll both broadcast it on both of our channels. And the I Really Want to Know podcast and the Big Snafu podcast can merge for a minute. That'd be fun. So go check out DL Saint. He's always good. My man. Pause. And, give me a like. Give me a follow. Share it with friends. Do the whole thing. If your uncle had a podcast, it'd be a lot like this. And if you don't have a cool uncle, you do now. So hang out with us. I'm Jay Big. This has been the Big Snafu. We'll see you next time. Deuces.